Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Catamarca in Argentina. Catamarca is located in northwest Argentina, bordering Chile right here. And there is some very incredible geography in this province. The Andes Mountains dominates this area, especially like all through here and in the south a little bit. It gets a bit lower around here in this valley. You can see the city of Catamarca is just within that. The mountains start like right there. But then it gets pretty mountainous again around the border here with Salta. Also in Argentina, another province here in Argentina. Many of these mountains are volcanoes and create a very interesting landscape that includes things like hot springs, all kinds of different valleys, and some interesting sights that I'm trying to figure out how to describe. First of all, there's the salt pans, which are pretty predominant on this side of the Andes, especially going up into Bolivia up there. But there's a huge salt pan right here, and there's various other ones throughout the province. But it also creates around this area, make sure I get it right, it's around Wait, where did it go? There's Ojos de Salado, by the way. Very big volcano in Chile, right on the border. How did I just lose this town? There it is. My goodness. How did I just lose that town? It's about here, so it's not marked on this map. That's why I couldn't find it. But this area is one huge desert. Like literal, like if you picture a desert, picture the Sahara. It looks like that. It is massive sand dunes, except they're white. It's very pretty. Very like mystical almost, because you don't really think straight up sandy desert in a place like Argentina. There's a bit of other little deserty areas around the mountain areas here. And I read that these kind of desert landscapes are known as the Puna, where like desert meets mountain landscape is known as the Puna. Very distinct here. Also, that volcanic landscape evidently is really good for growing grapes for wine. So there's a very large wine culture here in Catamarca. It's very predominant in the areas surrounding here, but apparently Catamarca wine industry is slowly but surely growing, which is great because this place deserves a lot more tourism than it already has, because it's absolutely beautiful here. Sites that you would not expect to see in South America, let alone Argentina. But we'll of course look at those on Google Earth. But to kick off history, we're actually going to look at a UNESCO site. It's one that we've read before that dominates the Andes, and that is the Chapac Ñan. Now, a lot of times I've skipped this UNESCO site because we would be reading it anytime we're in Peru, Bolivia, Chile, so on and so forth. I only really bring it up when I find one of the sites that I can show you on Google Earth, and that is true here. So let's read about what the Chapac Ñan Andean road system was. Make sure you can see all of it there. This site is an extensive Inca communication, trade, and defense network of roads covering 30,000 kilometers. Constructed by the Incas over several centuries and partly based on pre-Inca infrastructure, this extraordinary network, through one of the world's most extreme geographical terrains, linked the snow-capped peaks of the Andes at an altitude of more than 6,000 meters to the coast, running through hot rainforests, fertile valleys, and absolute deserts. It reached its maximum expansion in the 15th century, where it spread across the length and breadth of the Andes. The Chapacñan Andean road system includes 273 component sites spread over more than 6,000 kilometers that were selected to highlight the social, political, architectural, and engineering achievements of the network, along with its associated infrastructure for trade, accommodation, and storage, as well as sites of religious significance. And like I said, we will look at one of those sites. It is known as El Xincal. I don't think I'm going to be able to point it out here on the map. We'll see it on Google Earth. But before the Inca arrived here, there was, of course, an indigenous population known as the, sorry, I just bumped my mic there, known as the Diaguitas. The Diaguitas were mostly prominent over on this side of the mountains in Chile, but there was a group of these peoples over here known as the Calchaquí. They'll come back up in history. The Incas came through and they built El Xincal, which is, or was, the southernmost Inca city. And then the Spanish arrived, right? Goodbye, Inca control. In the year 1559, the town of Londres was founded. Make sure I get it right there. Londres. But this town would not last long because nearby was the Calchaquí. And the Calchaquí did not want the Spanish anywhere near them. And they launched a long series of wars against the Spanish, stretching from 1560 when they first attacked all the way to about 1667. Now, at first, the Calchaquí were very successful in destroying these Spanish settlements. They destroyed Londres. It got relocated. It got destroyed. So on and so forth. It took a turn around the 1600s when the Spanish were more prepared to deal with these indigenous peoples and captured them. And now they are not around anymore, unfortunately, because of that episode. So after that, after the dust settled from those conflicts, the Spanish were able to work a bit more in this area, and they founded in 1694. It's called Catamarca. Its full name is San Fernando de Valle de Catamarca. And that's pretty much all the history that I got for you, to be honest. I found little other snippets here and there. I read a little bit about how much some of the people here was resisting control from Buenos Aires, or Rio de la Plata, as it was known at first, trying to resist being controlled by what would become Argentina. The gauchos fighting out in the fields against the troops from Buenos Aires. But that's pretty much it. This is a rugged, out of the way. It's Wyoming. Not much is going on here. It's beautiful. It's remarkable, but not a lot of history going on here. So, with that being said, that was the history and geography of Catamarca. Let me then get Google Earth, because there's a lot to see. There's a lot more to look at than there is to talk about in history. So let's grab my tablet and we'll check out Catamarca on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in Catamarca province. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's Argentina, this very long country here in southern South America, bordered by Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia, Uruguay, and Brazil. And we are here, you can see the Andes Mountains, the world's longest mountain chain above the water. Mid-Atlantic Ridge doesn't count, you guys. So you can really see from above just how much these mountains are prominent in this province. But let's start down here. You can see the big salt pan here. There's no pictures in this area. I tried looking at a street view and everything. Nobody has taken pictures in the salt pan, and it's simply just because there is nothing here. There's like a town here by the looks of it, but there's nothing here. It is just salt. What was once a big lake is now just emptiness. It's pretty neat, I think. Let's head up to Catamarca next, which you can really see now here is at these mountains, like right at the bottom of these big mountains here. So here is Catamarca. We're going to go over here. This cathedral here, which I'm going to show you the plaza because then we can see this whole area. But that church, you can see right here, pretty in red, is actually a pilgrimage site. There's a virgin statue there that people come to see every year. So it's a pretty important church in this area, but you can see the many buildings around this plaza. There it is, I assume. It's all very pretty. With dinosaurs. You know how it is. You got the statues, you've got the churches, and of course the dinosaurs. You gotta have the dinosaurs. I think that was it in Catamarca. I can show you the main slideshow once the name pops up. Maybe I gotta close this. Let me like, there we go. There we go. It's pretty much all the same. All of the old churches here and such. It's a lot of the same photo there. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got for Catamarca. And then we go into the mountains here and the desert. Look at this. Like if I zoomed in and I just showed you this picture and I said, where is this picture from? You would say Algeria, Egypt, Chad. You would not say Argentina. It's incredible. There's the laundress right there. I'll go there in a second. Its nickname is the Sahara of Argentina. And if I go over here, we can see the big sand dunes over here. But first I want to show you this town, Fiampala. First of all, I was looking at this town. I'm pretty sure these are all vines. It's hard to see. It's awfully grainy, but I've been around quite a few vineyards. I grew up in Northern California, a big wine area. I'm pretty sure these are all vines. They look like it from above, which that's a lot. It's like the whole town is just a bunch of vineyards, but there's something else here. I just have to remember where it is. It's right here. It is a hot spring. And it looks very nice. Look at that view you'd have in the hot spring. Beautiful rocks there. Little cactuses there to decorate. Let's see, little birds to visit you when you go jump in this hot thermal water. But it's very nice on your skin. They certainly think so. Enjoying the hot springs, like you're at a little onsen in Japan or something, but you're not in Japan, you're in Argentina. All right, let's look at the sand dunes over here, the dunas. So I assume that's the word for dunes, but the big ones are over here. It's Federico Curbis. Yeah, that's a lot of selfies. I want to see the dunes. Over here, the Telon. Look at this, you guys. What? Again, if I said, where is this? You'd say Libya. You'd say Morocco. Look at this. Look at incredible. In Argentina, there's just straight desert. Just straight desert. So amazing. They're going sand dune surfing for sure. Look at them go. Ooh, down the big dune. That must be fun. Go surfing without getting wet. Very serious selfies. My goodness. Wee. Going down the big dunes. Look at that. The Andes in the background. Absolutely amazing. Did you think that you'd see a place like this in Argentina? What? Argentina. Absolutely stunning. It's like a whole different world. Like, this is not South America, but it is. So with the snow in the background, that's pretty amazing. Big dirt bikes there. Digging up all the sand. That's not what this picture taken. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I love it. There's some really cool pictures in this area. As always, I encourage you to explore Google Earth for yourself and look around. And then look at this volcanic landscape, you guys. It is all roily boily. Goodness, it looks burned, doesn't it? It's because it was. It's been covered over with volcanic everything for so long. Here's some peaks over here. There's Ojos del Salado. Make sure we're still in Argentina. Isn't Ojos del Salado the highest? Yeah, see, that's Chile. The highest still active volcano? I feel like, I know it has some. I think it's the highest peak in Chile, but I'm pretty sure that it's the world's highest active volcano. Look how white that mountain is. My goodness. Let's make sure we don't wind up in Chile. As much as I love Chile, not today. I could talk about Chile is one of those countries I could talk about all day long. It's absolutely amazing. But look at this. Look at this landscape. Look at this big old cone right here. Is it in 3D? Kind of. Oh yeah, it's in 3D. Big old cone right there. I wonder if we can take a look at it. There's so many mountains here. I've only looked at a couple of them. Yeah, look at that perfect cone. It's one of those where if you asked a kid to draw a volcano, they would draw that shape, right? It's the perfect cone volcano shape. It's almost like Mount Fuji, isn't it? And that's just one little random guy. That's a tiny one. There's so many more. So many more. Just look at what all this volcanic activity has done to this landscape. It's almost Martian. If I showed you, where's this? You'd say Venus? Like this is out of this world. This is incredible. See, look, there's more. There's one right there. Let's look at Cerro Tebenchico. Look how pretty. That snow is so neat. Among all this dry, barren land, and then just like a big old white peak. That's so, so neat. I feel like there was one on the other side of the province that had pictures of it smoking. It could be. We're going to Colombia next, and there's a lot of volcanoes there as well, so I feel like I'm getting my volcanoes mixed up in this case. It might have been in Colombia. But let's look around on this side. See, here's some of that Puna landscape where it's like desert meets mountain. Desert meets mountain. Those are clouds. That's not a river. Those are clouds. Oh, amazing. Oh, so pretty. Look how so cute. Whoa, look at this day. Very hazy. I think the one I'm thinking of is in Colombia. My bad. Did I get for looking at two very volcano-y places back to back? But look at this 3D here. Let's like, some winery places over there. We head into more of that. Puna. Pretty cool. Alright, over here is that laundress I told you, and nearby we're going to see the Inca ruins. Probably gonna have to type it in because no, actually, I remember I typed it in and Google Earth was like, what are you talking about? And I had to find it myself. That's right. Here it is. El Xincal de Quimifil. So this is what's left of the southernmost Incan city. Let's see. There's the museum. We want to see the actual ruins. This is all very fascinating, but let's see. Okay, that's pretty cool though. There's more pictures, don't you worry. See, look, there's one over here. There's a lot. Here we go. Old stairs there. Wonder if that's part of the Andean Road. Cool cacti. This old wall here. Look at the little paved road. Look at that. That's fun. Just a wall that was built by the Incas. Some artifacts. They're big old pots. Some neat clothing there. That's a really pretty pattern. I like those. I wonder if each design means something, like kente cloth or something. Very cool. But yeah, I guess that first picture was the best one. This one. No, this one. Where you can see the outline of the town. There's that little gate. And going up the big hill there. Pretty amazing. Yeah, like Argentina doesn't really, associate with the Incas, right? But here it does. I said that really weird. You don't really associate Argentina with the Inca. There we go. Get your words right. ASMR Geographica. Put them in the right order. Put the borders up one more time. So that we can look at a couple more sites to see. Let's look more in the valley here. Let's look here. Let's see. It was established on my birthday, but in 1995. That's the day I turned 10. Was the day that this park was established. That's pretty cool. Happy birthday to me. I remember when I turned 10. Because I remember thinking today I'm double digits. And I'm going to be double digits probably for the rest of my life. And if I hit triple digits, it'll be in 90 years. I was like, whoa. But look how beautiful this place is. So much more green, right? Compared to the deserts and the mountain areas. Very beautiful. Oh, very lush. The big roaring river going by. The sun shining down. And a pretty lake with all these glaciated mountains up there. I assume that's glaciated mountain. Let's take a look at one more before we end this video. Oh, we looked at that one. I remember the clouds. How about this one? Called Chaquis. They're called Chaqui. Oh, this is amazing. This is great. Okay, we're going to end it here in this desert. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please check out this area on Google Earth in your free time. There's so many more mountains and things to look at. It's pretty great. And, oh, look at that. That's so great. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Like I said, we're going to Colombia next. Where we're going to see some more volcanoes and things. It's going to be pretty similar to this, but That area is much more green. much more green. But with all the cool volcanoes and such. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. This kind of looks like Scotland to me, like the Highlands a little bit. If it wasn't for all the shrubbery here. Like that kind of looks like the Scottish Highlands there. That's pretty cool. Pretty flowers. Oh, we're also going to see some paramos tomorrow. And you know how much I love the paramo. If you don't know what the paramo is, welcome to my channel. It's my favorite thing about Colombia. And be sure to subscribe so you can see some paramo. I hope that you found this video relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night.